I'm really excited for it. But also, today is the Positivity Talk. Today's the Positivity Talk. We got an awesome Positivity Talk lined up for you all today. We are going to be talking about... She is getting mod spam. We are going to be talking about help today. And you know what? We're going to go and kick this bad boy off. We're already all energized about it. I'm all amped. I'm excited. You know Stormtrooper Man's excited because he's going to get some food. He's going to get some... First off, six knows Princess Hades already gave this Stormtrooper some cookies, and then 6 gave him some Doritos. So I mean... Obviously, he's already helped build the battle station, so it's good. All right. Hey, Pirate Kitty, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. All right. Oh, well, thanks, Cookies. That's like a really nice thing to say, man. That really touched me right there. Thanks, bud. I try. Try and do some stuff every now and again, but BRB gonna cook my pizza. No worries, Jay. All right, so. I love to see you, Pirate Kitty. Thanks for being here. All right, I'm going to do my best to be able to talk through this congestion that I have. And apparently yesterday I had to go get more meds because apparently now my cold turned into a actual sinus infection. So my face actually hurts, which is fun too. But today's Positivity Talk, we are going to be talking about help, right? Help. First off, I want to say thank you all who make it out to these Positivity Talks. It is something that I am I love doing because I know that I have the benefit of being a naturally positive person. It doesn't take a whole, I find joy in a lot of things, and I know that that's a choice to be had. And so what I want to do with these Positivity Talks is to give positivity to others, right? The purpose of these talks is even if one person's day is made better because of me talking about how to be positive and being able to take actionable steps in your life to be help, H-E-L-P, help, like help. See the word right there? Will help, that one. And so I know that sometimes people need just like actionable steps on how to be able to make their life a little bit more positive. And so that's my goal. That's all I want. I want people to live the best possible life that they can, right? And so whether you're watching this on YouTube because I upload these on YouTube or through the Twitch video log or anything, we do these on Tuesdays right here on Twitch at Rufio on Twitch. So RUFIOOHHH. And we go live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So come on in, hang out with the fun. So whenever people think of help, right? Like whenever people think of help, they always think of it in different ways, right? So whenever I say help, like what do you all think of? I mean, truthfully, just like we're going to start off with that. Central Standard Time, that's right. Like whenever I say help, what do you all think of? Like do you think of something positive? Do you like what kind of feeling do you have? I think of giving you biddies. Oh no, Grunner. You've mentioned it twice. I feel like the third time I'm gonna all of a sudden be wrecked. 911. Okay. Hey, no, that is a very real thing, right? 911. Right? That's helpful. That's in a dire situation, right? Okay. That's a pretty good one. Is there a feeling of like, I don't know about that? Or is there a feeling of maybe you need some? Is there a feeling of maybe you want some but you won't ask? I think what did this person break? Okay. Hey. I get that. Someone who works in IT help, I can see where that would come from, right? Right? If you work at a help desk, you spend your time trying to be able to help others. Help my friends and family move with my truck. Sigh. Right? Like, someone in need of something? Okay, yeah. Help to me is mental support. That's another great one, right? Something that not a lot of people are talking about, but that conversation needs to happen. I think of selflessness. Katie, that's a great one. Probably more of I could use some, but I don't have resources to do it right now. Okay. Valid. right? A lot of different things, right? Help is this huge, I mean, it's huge, right? Right. Help someone willing to lay down their needs to make yours a priority. That's a good one, right? That's like selfless help, right? So that's you helping someone else. It's a good one. Service to others, exactly right along the same lines, Wire Junkie. Right? Not being a corn nugget. Okay, that's helpful, Caitlin. But so like, you know, like help in reality is going through something alongside or with, or, you know, et cetera, you know, with another, right? So help is being alongside and going through something with another person or thing, or, you know, helping out, right? So many times, unfortunately, help is portrayed as something shameful or weak, or only when we're at the end of our ropes should we even ever ask for it, right? Or even we're too prideful and think we can take on anything ourselves. How many times did you do something like, man, I probably should have asked for help here, right? The TV that I mounted, I definitely should have asked for help. I hurt my back putting that bad boy up, right? Like I got in an awkward stance, probably should have asked for help. Even if it's something that's just like because my pride got in my way, I got hurt. Now again, that's something small, but think about that for like a bigger scale, right? Sometimes even those bigger ones are hard to ask for help on. It's been ingrained in society, honestly. It's honestly been ingrained in society to not help for centuries, right? Never feel that help is last resort. That's the truth, Jay, right there. But like it's been ingrained in society to not help for centuries. Like, true story. In Greco-Roman times, you did not help others. You didn't. It was actually something that people acted upon and stopped, right? You did not help the poor. You did not help the poor. You did not associate with individuals deemed lesser, right? You didn't even look at them because of how society met it. Thanks for the host, buddy. You know, like, you didn't even associate with individuals deemed lesser because you didn't even look at them because of how society dictated your interaction, right? You sat there, and if someone was like, oh, well, he's got this, or she's got this, or she's this, right? If they were deemed somewhere in even like a societal or even a different idealistic group that was somehow deemed in society lesser, if you interacted with them, you were put down there and you were shunned. Like, right there, just to be able to help someone. Oh man, how? Like how? Like that isn't right, but that was literally what was happening. That was just a couple thousand years ago, people. That was literally like 2000, right around 2000 years ago. This was right whenever, like right around 0 BC. Before, I'm lucky where I work since, and friends since, where I feel. Right before I start something to lean on them for their expertise and experience and offer myself. That's a great one, KB. That's awesome to be able to have that, bud. Is being there for someone unconditionally. That's a great one, 6. That's the same. Because I know and believe others need help more than I do. See, and that's the thing, Anino. Like, yeah, we'll touch on that too, bud. Like, I mean, even in today, right? Even in today in the U.S., we're taught, like, I mean, honestly, think about this. We're taught to not give money to people on the street, right? Because they're going to go and buy alcohol for it, or they're just out to scam or anything like that. And while you may have your personal beliefs on that, think about this. That person is there asking for help. You may be right in the fact that money may not be the thing to be able to help them, but do you think that they need help? Think about that. I know that can be kind of a bigger argument, but I only bring that up not to say which way is right and which way is wrong, but we're taught to not do it, right? You can choose either way of the fence, but we are taught to not do that. You watch out for number 1, right? You don't ask for help to, like, because you're likely to seem incapable, right? Help is for the weak, right? These are things that literally, while I was growing up, some of the male role model figures that I had in my life told me. Dead serious. Those exact same things, right? And I've heard that from a lot of people. A ton. Whenever I was growing up in the school that I was at, that was a very, very common thing. You did not ask for help. You did not seem like you were tired. You did not do any of these things because you were going to be deemed as something that wasn't worthy of being on the field, on the team, in the group, right? These are things that literally happened. Like, we live in an individual focused society, right? We praise these self-made men or even these self-made women who like did it all on their own, right? Who did it all on their own or achieved the American dream all by their lonesome when in reality, that person is merely just the vessel of countless amounts of help that people just didn't get to see. The old saying, you show me a successful man, I'll show you the more successful woman that supported him. That's a true statement. That right there is a true statement. You look at that, right? Right? Man. And that's the thing. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs it. Everybody does. It is the truth, right? If you help someone build a battle station, you're helping or hurting there. Valid point, Sig. How are you, buddy? Hey, by the way, congrats on all your good streams, man. I love it. I'll just give the bite beer. That keeps knowledge to itself and makes themselves invaluable. I gotcha. That's a pretty good one. The day of your life better depending on what I help the person with. Yeah, Pug. That's awesome. So I gave him my lunch. I did the drive-thru for myself. Don't worry. CKB, like stuff like that, right? That's help. That's awesome, man. That is such an awesome story. Thank you for sharing that. Past something to help someone else out, something they struggle with. You have to be past something to help someone else out with. Never think you have to be past something to help someone else out with something they struggle with. Yeah, 100%. We're all getting through life at the same time, guys. Like we're all doing this together. We're all doing this together. Today, right? We're going to take a look at both how we can be helped and how we can help others. Mainly because why that is okay to do and how to do it, right? We're going to focus on us internally first, right? On how it's okay to be helped and then outwardly to others, right? Okay, and one thing that I want to mention, I guess I probably should have done this at the beginning, but like I was saying that this is such a huge topic, we're going to be looking at the overarching and those first steps, because if we went through every single topic of how we can help someone, we could literally talk for this for hours, days, months, weeks, years, and never hit on everybody's need for help, right? So for this conversation, we're going to be focused on the first step, because while we can't control what happens along the way, right, we can always control where the starting line begins for help, right? Right, we can always control that. We can always do that. And so, sorry, man, this cough is just getting me. So first off, everybody here has had help today. Okay? Everybody here has had help today. Like, even just by coming here on Twitch, you had help to get here, right? Like the people who are providing and making Twitch work, the people who made your computer, right? Websites, everything in between, like all these different things, you had help to be able to have the food that you even ate to be able to have energy, right? I know that may sound simple, but some people just don't get it. Like all these little things that had to happen for your day-to-day life to enable you to be able to come here, that was help. Literally every day we are relying on thousands of people from every walk of life. We are depending on them. We're getting help right now. So first off, can we all just like agree that we all need help and we're open to receiving help, right? We obviously are, because that's the society that we live in, right? Like, that's the truth. And that can mean the world to someone. That's an awesome statement, Katie. Thank you for sharing that. Didn't even know why. Wow, Caitlin. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Takes it when I need help or it is offered or even suggested. Yeah, hell, I get that, man. Like I get that totally. Like, and I mean that's one of the things, right? We're taught sometimes, or at least I was taught. I shouldn't say we, because I'm not representative of every single male. But like as a male, I was taught growing up, right? Like if you are weak if you need to be asking for help, and that's not the case, right? Like right now we're all getting help. Here's something just to be able to give you guys just even the simplest thing, and I say simplest, but this is something that's gonna hopefully trigger something, right? Like how many of you have become a better individual because of help? Just raise your hand. Go ahead, raise your hand, right? Like that guy should be raising his hand right there, Stormtrooper man, right? All of you should be raising your hand right now. All of you should be raising your hand, right? But even the simple form of communication, right? Of us being able to talk to one another, right? We were made better, right? And I say this simply because of communication, because think of this. You may or may not think that just communicating is a big deal, right? right? You may or may not think that it's a big deal. But here's a staggering statistic. You ready for this? Staggering statistic. 32 million U.S. adults are functionally illiterate. Functionally illiterate. Okay? About 14% of all adults. And about 45 million are low proficiency literate. Okay? Low proficiency literate. Meaning that over 35% of the U.S. doesn't even know what that statement means. Okay? Let that trip around in your head real quick. Over 35% of the U.S. doesn't even know what proficiency means. Okay? Something that we do every single day. Something that we probably deem so small, or something that we deemed so like something that we may just think, oh, it's just, something that we do, right? You had to have help to learn how to communicate. And over 35% of the U.S. can't even do that to the level that we're doing it right now. Thank goodness for help. Thank God for help. Because without that, we can't be who we are today. I tell you these statistics not to be like, hey, look at this, but too many times we look at our life and think like, I got this, right? But I can tell you, even some of the smallest things in life, we were helped to make, we were helped to make happen, right? Help is good to have in life. Help is great to have in life. Help is using the building blocks of failure from someone else, right? You all remember that talk the last talk that I did, right? Success is built on failure. While people are going through it, if you're going through it at the same time or even after that, you are building off of these bricks and mortars that people have already done, and you guys can realize it at the same time, right? You're literally going through it at the same time. And because of this help, you're able to go further and faster. How is it that help is bad? It's not. Whenever you get help, and you need to start with you, right? Success is built on failure, and once you have built that success, others can build off of your failure as well and make even successes that even. Oh, Johnny. Thanks, Johnny, buddy.
Sorry to interrupt.
I appreciate it, man. No,
keep going.
I appreciate it, because that right there, you're helping out kids, and I love you for it. Oh, I love you for it. And so the stigma of getting help, honestly, it needs to go away. If we're not to be hypocrites, because we unknowingly even help others. We shouldn't just expect us to help others, because we all need help. We all do it. Some of you might think I'm independent though. And while that can be true, you can be self-sufficient for your life, right? You can do those things. But here's the thing. If you're just going to go through this and think that I'm independent and you don't need any help, you're living with this facade of a house built by you, built by you, with no doors or windows to let others in, right? You're doing that to let no other person in to help, but all you're truly doing is building a room with no escape that will take a wrecking ball to make you finally realize the world is more than the building that you built. You're not going to be able to enjoy these amazing things. You're not going to be able to enjoy these amazing people. By helping yourself, you can help others. And by helping others, you're actually helping yourself, right? Not only that, but someone who never seeks, someone who a lot of times doesn't seek out help, right, is oftentimes the person who needs it the most. Think about that. If you're sitting here trying to be able to build up these walls and I don't need any of this help, I'm good, I'm just going to keep on, giving myself to others. And while you're giving yourself to others, that's great. And realize that you're helping yourself at that point too. So don't think that you're not helping yourself at that point, because you are. I mean, there's psychological and physiological and a whole bunch of other things that I can tell you about right now, but that's a whole nother serving talk. But by doing that, you're only hurting yourself if you don't enable yourself to get help. It's imperative, right? It's imperative that we do that. And all of you can do this, right, by taking that first step. So think about this. Where is it that you need help, right? Where is it that you need help? I want everybody to think about that, and we're going to kind of move on to helping others, because what we want to do was talk about mainly just, hey, by the way, people need help, and it's true. You do. Everybody needs help sometime or another, and it's fine. And the first thing that you need to do is realize that is okay. That is okay. Hey, Shadow, I love you, buddy. When it comes to helping others, right? So now you've worked on yourself, and the reason why you need to do that for yourself, honestly, everyone, is because if you need help first, you need to help yourself out first by having someone else help you so that you can help others, right? If you're sitting here like, I don't know how to do this and I do need help, right? Now you can go alongside a journey with somebody, right? And you can be helping each other. That's something as well. But like, if you need some serious help, right? First off, you need to go do that. If you have any type of mental instability, or if you have suicidal thoughts or addictions, or there's a lot of different things that you need to go and seek professional help. And I'm not the person to do that. I am not the person to be able to help you out with that. That's someone where you need to go and have some real help for. And I cannot begin to tell you how much better you will feel, because like, speaking from someone who went to therapy whenever they were younger, like, it helped. It really did. And so you need to do that in order to be able to sometimes progress. And that's fine. That is actually good. And so as soon as you get to that point, you've already won. You can control that first step. You can't control a lot of things that are happening along the way, but you can control that first step to go and get it, right? When it comes to helping others, right? A lot of people have this heart, right, of wanting to be able to help others, but are frozen in fear, right? A lot of these people are like, oh man, I really want to help others, but I don't know how, or I don't know where, or or a lot of the things, right? Like, it's either, a lot of times it kind of falls into those two categories. I don't know where to help, or, how to help. Or two, there's too many things that need help, right? Fear, like how crappy is that? Right? Fear is really, really smart, people. It will come at you quick, fast, in a hurry. It tells you that either there's nothing for you to do, right? There's either nothing for you to help on, or once you find something, right? It either tells you something that there's nothing for you to do, or once you find something, it's the task that basically the only qualified person, right? It's like this monumental thing that the only qualified person to do it is Superman, right? It hits you on both ends. It hits you like either, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. Finally, you're like, yeah, I can. And it's like, well, guess what? You got to do it all at once, and you're not strong enough to do it. Poof, right? It hits you. And that's stupid. That's just fear trying to get at you. And that's not right, right? Fear is great at this. It does this double-edged sword that basically keeps you from doing anything. It keeps you like analysis paralysis, right? But I'm here to tell you different. Like, whenever you think about this, whenever you think about helping people, I want you to think about this. I have a part to play, but I am not the part, right? I need to become less so like the thing that I'm trying to help can become more. Each of us play a role in this and enjoy it while you're doing it. Everyone can remember that one teacher, that one role model, that one coach that focused on them as an individual, and how impactful that was. That's the thing. Whenever you sit here and you think, I was worth the time, I was worth the investment, you can give that to someone else. And whenever you do that, start small and focus. And realize that whenever you're sitting here doing this, you don't have the capacity to do everything that needs to be done, right? I don't have the capacity to do that. Neither do you. Neither does anyone. But with our small focus, right? With our one-to-one interactions, we can see a change together, right? Think about these. Think about these statistics. All right, I got these things out from. These are from a couple decades ago, but think about this: children's poverty worldwide. Okay, that is a huge issue. Right? Huge issue. And children's poverty worldwide, really overwhelming, right? A few years ago, it was 30,000 children a day. Okay? 30,000 children a day were dying. They didn't make it to the end of the day because of childhood poverty. Let that sink in real quick. 30,000 children a day simply because children's poverty. That's an issue. Okay, that's something that needs to be addressed. But whenever you look at that, how does one person make a difference? One person can't just all of a sudden come in and say like 30,000. Oh yeah, I got this, right? Today, you know what it is? Today, you know what it is? It's around 18,000. It's around 18,000, right? Right? We've almost cut that thing in half. And while that's awesome that we've cut that thing in half, 18,000 a day, that's just for the simple fact that they don't have access to food, water, and shelter, that's too many. That is way too many to have that happen. But guess what? Like, the reason why it got cut so much is because there were individuals who saw something and wanted to make a change, and they took that first step. Half of the world, right, in that same time period where there was 30,000 children a day dying, half of the world lived on less than $1 a day. A half, people, half, $1 a day. Think about that. Try and imagine your life at $1 a day. I couldn't. I don't even have the brain capacity to do that. I'm not even joking. I don't even know what it would look like to live on less than $1 a day. Okay? Nowadays, today, it's a quarter of the world. A quarter of the world. And while again, we have cut it significantly, that's still a quarter of the world. Not anyone in this room, not even all of Twitch combined, has the faith, resources, and knowledge to be able to step out in faith and save 18,000 kids a day in a quarter of the world. You don't, we don't. They're like, in all of Twitch, that's not possible. So you know how we do these things, right? Some people think we need like this giant, this colossus of a human being. Like, why can't Bill Gates just step up and take care of all this stuff, right? Him and all of his money. How about all the richest people in the world do this? Like, that's not what it takes, right? Or maybe even thinking like, you know what, you got this. I'm going to go ahead and sponsor 100 kids. I'm going to take on this monumental thing that even is big for me, right? Maybe you're going to start an orphanage. Maybe you're going to bring all of them to the U.S., get them adopted, give them all your money, right? But here's the truth. There are organizations who are doing a lot of work to help child poverty. There's a lot of organizations that are helping a quarter of the world. But the biggest impact that has changed this scenery for the world, you want to know what that is? That's one person deciding, I can't send 10 kids to school. I can't afford that. That's not what I can do. But I can help one. Right? Most of the time, whenever someone needs help, it's so overwhelming, we don't even start. But for some, they choose to take care of one kid. And guess who's grateful you saw the worthwhile person instead of a detail of thousands or tens or 18,000s of kids, because to one kid, you can mean the world. That's how this world has been changing, by one person at a time. Think about this. Extra Life, right? 62 kids go into a Children's Miracle Network hospital every minute. That's almost 90,000 kids a day. Every day. Math. It's almost 90,000 kids. I all too often get caught up, like I have a problem getting caught up in the big picture of what impact I can have, right? I get caught up in the enormous challenges and the details. I am not good at that. I get drowned in that I don't realize it's the small steps that it takes to get me there, right? The help I want to do isn't that of my own doing. It's help from others, right? It's help from others that gets me there. It's me being open to help one person at a time while asking for help along the way. It's being like, hey, I'm going to help out this kid. I need you to take this kid too, right? Like, because like the one thing that I often too much look like is I feel like I need to take on too much. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I get so caught up on not doing the simple steps that sometimes I don't do what I'm supposed to be doing, right? That is a character flaw that is in me. And one thing that I want to say to each one of you that has that, may the urgency with which I approach my work never become anxiety. The world is not mine to save. It's not. Okay? Think about that. Say that to yourself. May the urgency with which I approach my work never become anxiety. The world is not mine to save. You're not the one, while we're here to work on these things and to work on these struggles, you guys aren't we're not the ones that are sent here to single-handedly end world hunger or poverty. That's not our job. We need to realize that. What we're called to do is to take one step at a time in the moment that we're in. That's what we're called to do. Take one step. One. That's it. Right? Got your head spinning? Here's the best way to break it down to tell yourself this, right? To start off with, you can do this. Okay? Here are three easy sayings that I want everybody to think about this. You can do this. Okay? You can ask for help. You can go and you can make it through this trial and this tribulation. Okay? After you've gotten to that point, You can't do this. Okay? I want everybody to realize that the enormous things that need to happen in this world are just that. They're enormous. And you can't do it single-handedly. You need help. Okay? Everybody needs help. Okay? You can't do this. And then final statement, we can do this. With all of us together, right? With all of us together, we can make a difference. We need help from each other. We need each other, and we need to help others. That's what's going to make the biggest change in this world. So I asked you all earlier, kind of what's that big thing for you today? Is it global poverty? Is it child sickness? Maybe it's something in your job that you need help with. Maybe it's a relationship like marriage or friendship. Maybe you're struggling with addiction, depression. Ask yourself this. Like, just ask yourself, right? Just ask yourself this. What's that one big thing for you today? Okay. Now, whenever you look at that, what's the small step that you can take? Okay. You don't need to have elite. Fear is going to tell you that you need to complete everything right now. Fear is going to tell you that it's this monumental thing. But guess what? You know the thing that I can control, the thing that you control, that anybody that control, guess what? You can do it. You can take one small step. You can make it happen. You make it happen. The big picture is great, but most of the time we're built and called upon to do the small steps because not one person on this earth is a detail. We're all worth getting help and giving help. In those same times of Greco-Roman Empire, a small group of individuals took it upon themselves to take care of the forgotten, right? Each of them took 1, 2, however many they could handle children, the lame, the needy. And guess what? I told you that story because eventually an emperor named Emperor Julian at the time was noted as saying, they not only look out for the needs of their own poor, but also for ours. They are putting us to shame, ultimately changing the entire way that the society viewed help. And you want to know how many people started that? A dozen. That's right. Changed an entire society. So what's one step that you can take? What's one step that you can take? Just think about it. Okay? And the 3 things that I want you to ask yourself is tell yourself, you can do this, you can't do this, we can do this. And that's your positivity talk, people. That's coming at you hard, right? Help. It's good. You got it. You can do it. Take help for yourself. Now help someone else out too. That's right there. Sorry, I know the chat was going a million miles a minute and I could not keep up with that and still do the talk. So I apologize that a lot of you kept on saying things and I did not